and welcome to Gist English Masterclass. You know that feeling? You leave a meeting and you could swear everyone just heard a completely different conversation. Well, today we are going to tackle that head on. We're breaking down the exact language that great managers use to lead their projects, guide their teams, and make decisions with absolute total clarity. Let's jump in. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the ultimate goal, what we're all trying to do here. Then we'll dive into the one core idea that prevents most team problems, and that's alignment. After that, we get really practical with a simple communication structure, the specific words to use for key actions, and finally, a toolkit that you can literally use in your next meeting. All right, first up, management clarity. So what is the real job of a manager? Honestly, it's not about having the title or being the boss. It's about being a clarity creator. Your number one job is to cut through all the noise, clearly define what matters most, and just clear the path so your team can do their best work fast. And this really says it all. Management is all about getting results, but through other people. And what's the main tool you have to make that happen? It's language. It's the words you choose. The more precise and deliberate you are with your words, the better your results are going to be. It really is that simple. Okay, this brings us to what is maybe the single most important concept for any team that wants to get things done: alignment. And look, I know this can sound like just another corporate buzzword, but it's not. It is the secret sauce for smooth execution. It's the ultimate cure for that confusion and chaos that can totally sink a project. So what is alignment really? Well, put simply, it's just shared understanding. It means every single person on your team can confidently answer three little questions. What are we doing? When does it need to be done? And who's responsible for what part? If those three things are crystal clear to everyone, congratulations, you have alignment. And this slide just lays it out perfectly, right? On one side, when you have alignment, you get clarity, you get shared goals, and work actually gets delivered on time. But without it, you get chaos, you get confusion, people doing the same work twice, and of course, missed deadlines. As a manager, your entire mission is to keep your team living on the left side of the screen. So how do we actually make that alignment happen? Because it's definitely not going to happen by accident. You have to be intentional. It requires structure. So let's walk through a super simple 4-step framework you can use to bring clarity to basically any conversation or meeting. It's pretty straightforward. First, you always set the objective. Start with, why are we even here? Second, you set priorities. Let's be real, you can't do everything at once. Third, you assign ownership, which is huge, so there's zero confusion about who is doing what. And finally, you get ahead of problems and manage risks by asking, so what could go wrong here? If you follow these 4 steps, in this order, you're pretty much guaranteed to have a productive conversation. Okay, now that we have that structure, we can zoom in on the specific language you can use. There are 3 things every manager does, right? You delegate tasks, you make decisions, and you give feedback. Let's look at some really powerful phrases for each one. Now, what I love about this is how it totally reframes delegation. It's not just, hey, go do this. It's, you own this, and I've got your back. That term, escalation support, it means you're giving them the power to solve problems on their own, but you're also providing a safety net if they get really stuck. That builds so much confidence and accountability. Oh, this is such a power move for making a decision. Instead of just saying, I think we should do this, you're grounding your choice in evidence. You're pointing to the data. This immediately signals that the decision is objective and thought out, not just your personal opinion. It builds a ton of trust and makes it way easier for the team to get on board. This is just a perfect model for giving feedback because it's balanced. You start with something specific and positive, what they nailed. Then you give a super clear, actionable next step. And notice that pro language. Cadence just means the rhythm or frequency of something. This whole approach feels constructive, not critical. And it's all about getting better next time. All right, let's pull all of this together into a practical toolkit. We're going to go over some absolutely essential vocabulary and a few set phrases that you can start using right away to sound more structured, clear, and totally professional. Okay, using these words correctly is a signal that you really get how professional projects work. A deliverable isn't just the work, it's a concrete thing, like the Q3 report. A stakeholder is anyone with skin in the game, from the client to another team. And knowing the difference between a risk and your mitigation plan, that shows you're thinking 3 steps ahead. Seriously, mastering this vocabulary is a shortcut to building credibility. Think of these as your go-to power phrases. Kicking off a meeting with "let's align" instantly creates focus. Asking someone to take ownership is so much more empowering than just assigning a task. And in a tense moment, a simple phrase like, "I hear your concern, let's focus on solutions," can just completely shift the room's energy from finger pointing to problem solving. Now, I want to leave you with a super simple, actionable challenge, and it all boils down to this one number. That's it. Don't try to memorize everything we just talked about. Just focus on weaving 3 incredibly powerful words into how you talk at work, starting with your very next meeting or email. And here they are, your 3 magic words. Start every single project by clarifying the objective. Assign clear ownership for every task. And constantly check for alignment to make sure everyone's rowing in the same direction. I promise if you just focus on these 3, you will be well on your way to mastering the language of leadership. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Whether it's for a massive project or just a small 10-minute meeting, what is the very first objective you are going to clarify for your team tomorrow? Start right there.